everybody, Stephanie here from Instant Pot Basics and Beyond. Today we're getting super basic. We're gonna make rice. Super easy. We're gonna get it done. I have a funny story. So I used to say growing up, learned to make rice in a pot on the stove. Right? You put the lid on, you don't touch it, let it cook. It turned out just fine most of the time. I was cooking rice that way when my husband and I were first married. And he came home and he's like, "You can cook rice on the stove?" I'm like, "Yeah, how else do you cook rice?" This was pre-Instant Pot. He's like, "Well, in a rice cooker." And we had a rice cooker because he had one when we got married. I didn't know how to use it. I was like, "I don't know how to use the rice cooker," which he made fun of me for, but whatever. I now actually use my rice cooker most of the time to make rice. I like to mix brown and white, and I feel like I can get away with it in my rice cooker. I haven't actually tried it in the Instant Pot, but I know that I can get away with it. My mom always tells me, "You're just blowing up. I'm blowing up my white rice." Whatever. That's how my family likes it. Get a little more nutrition in my kids. Anyhow, today we're doing Instant Pot. So, your Instant Pot came with this thing. Should have. If you lost it, it's okay. Recipes will refer to it as a rice cup. It is not a full, volume cup, 1 cup measuring cup. It's not 8 ounces. So just know that to start with. The nice thing about cooking rice, though, is it's just a 1-to-1 ratio. So when they call for cups, you can use the cup that comes with your Instant Pot, or you can use an actual, measuring cup, or you can use your kid's drinking cup, whatever. But for this, today, we're doing 2 cups, rice cups of rice, and 2 rice cups of water. We're just doing plain white rice, long grain. I went ahead and rinsed my rice. Rice can be pretty starchy on the outside, which makes a bunch of extra starch when it's cooking. So just give it a rinse. You can put it just in a bowl. You can do a fine mesh strainer. It's easier to drain if you do it in a strainer. I didn't. Can't find mine. Didn't want to deal with it. So just, run some water in it. Agitate it. Your water will get all murky, and then you drain it, which if you're just trying to use your hand, you'll dump rice down the drain. That's what I just did. Anyhow, that's why if you use a fine mesh strainer, you can easily drain the water without losing your rice. Anyhow, here we go. In the pot, we will put in our rice. So I'm using water today. Feel free to use broth if you want to use broth, chicken broth, vegetable broth, beef stock broth. It's all the same, more or less. Okay. Culinary speaking, technically it's not. But when you're buying stuff from the store or making your own, mostly it is. Anyhow, so if you want to use something more flavorful than water, feel free. So that was 2 of our cups, and then I measured 2 of the cups into my liquid measuring cup. In the pot it goes. I like to make sure all the rice gets in the water. Probably it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things because it's going to boil like crazy anyway. Okay, lid on. Remember, you can line up the arrows in the front. There's an arrow up top and there's an arrow down here. And then as you turn it, there's a little lock symbol. Locks in place. So we're going to do manual. Where's my manual button? This has a rice button. That says low pressure. I've never actually used it. So, we're going to do it the way I know how to do it. Manual. This plug over here. It's not like to stay plugged in. Nope. Come on, Instant Pot. Oh, it was that plug. Okay, here we go. Manual. 3 minutes. Ready, go. So we need to turn our knob to sealing. As it comes to pressure, it's going to release steam, especially because there's a bunch of liquid in there. And that's okay. It's normal. It'll release steam. It'll make some noise. As it comes up to pressure, once it's at pressure, the silver pin comes up. Your sealing valve kind of solidifies, locks into place, your lid locks, and you can't touch it, which is good. That's what we want it to do. It will stay on until it comes up to pressure. Once it comes to pressure, it will say your time. It will say 3 minutes, and it will count down. With this, we're going to do 10 minutes natural release. So it's going to have an L, and then it's going to start counting up. When it gets to 10, we're going to finish with a quick release. We'll turn our venting knob to venting. If there's any steam left over in there, pressure, it'll release that. And then we'll take it off, we'll fluff it with a fork, and it'll be done. And you got rice in probably 15 minutes-ish. It depends on how long it takes to come to pressure. Probably 5-6 minutes would be my guess. I'll keep an eye on it, let you know for sure. But Cook for 3 minutes, natural release for 10, and you have rice. And again, what's the thing we love about the Instant Pot? You don't have to pay attention to it. So you can go about making the rest of your dinner and not worry about whether or not your rice is going to boil over on the stove, and it's going to taste better than probably instant rice does. I've never actually had instant rice. I don't know, it's not a big deal to cook it, in my opinion. If it is for you, that's okay. You can now use your Instant Pot and it'll be wonderful. So again, I'm just using plain long white rice. Use whatever. You can use jasmine, you can use basmati, cal rose, doesn't really matter. If you're using brown rice, wild rice, some other kind of rice that's not white rice, the cooking time is going to be different because we all know that especially brown rice takes longer to cook than white rice. I will put in the comments a link that has different cooking times for those other kinds of rice. I can't tell you off the top of my head, except that it's longer than 3 minutes. So we're just going to let this go, and we'll be back in a few minutes and check out our nice white fluffy rice. Hey everybody, we're back. Stephanie here again. As you can see, we've waited our 10 minutes, or a few more. That's okay. Lid's unlocked. Pressure's all released. I was supposed to grab a bowl, and I forgot. Just a minute. We'll just use this. Alright, so I'm going to turn this off because we don't really need it to be hot still. My Instant Pot also came with this Cooper Cool rice scooper. I didn't know that. I don't know how this is. Maybe just... Unless that's not a rice spoon. I'm going to use it anyway. Okay, here we go. So we have rice. And I should have got my other camera out, but it was just rice today. So there we go. Nice, fluffy. Should fluff it with a fork. All our liquid's gone. Steaming up my face. It's the mom facial, right? You have in the dishwasher pots you're cooking out of. Anyhow, there you go. So it seriously took like 5 minutes to come up to pressure. Just gonna dump all this in here. 3 minutes to cook. 10 minutes natural release. And by my math, that's 18 minutes. So we'll say maybe 2 minutes to get it all in the pot and going, and then 20 minutes. You have beautiful fluffy rice to have with dinner. Hopefully, you know, it probably takes you long to make stir fries. So there you go, dinner in 30 minutes or less. Hope you enjoy. Hope you go make yourself some nice fluffy white rice. Again, I will put in the comments the link to the method I used, and also it has some suggestions on if you're cooking different kinds of rice. We're on Facebook, YouTube, like, subscribe, share, all the things. We want everybody to make fabulous, easy, quick rice in their Instant Pot. Have a good day.